3,033. Nice job. Top gun for the week, and she's prepared some slides to go through some of her clients that she's gotten. She had an incredible week. And how many of these people on your team? Maurice, not Maurice, Glenn is 1,500. John, 1,500. And then Sheila. So this week, your team did over 7,000, basically 7,500 this week, right? And, here's another thing. With COVID, if a client gets COVID, even if they're asymptomatic, they test positive, they're fine. It's not a severe case. And I guess severe would mean you just don't go to the hospital, right? Yeah. You have to wait 30 days, and you've missed out on how many? Because a lot of your clients. Three this week, right? That now, and it used to be 90 days, but our company has reduced it. Now it's 30 days. You have to wait to have a negative test or something. 30 days since you tested positive. And so that's an adjustment that our company's making, but it could have been a lot more this week, and I know you're working really hard. So let's give it up. And she's going to share quickly the slides up here. Yes. Okay. Let's give it up for the great Sheila B.
Everybody. I'm trying to save my voice because that's all I do when I talk. Anyways, so basically, it's my week started out because last week I sucked and I was like, damn it. But I'm putting in some work. I don't close everything right away, but eventually, they mostly come. But last Saturday in particular, Lonnie, who is one of our new recruits, and Karina, recruiter, she's actually a nurse, and then she just went on a traveling assignment. Okay, because right now what's in is travel nursing. These nurses are making like bank. I mean, 4,000 a week, 8,000 a week, 6,000 a week. I mean, this is how much money they're making. So anyways, she was on a travel assignment, and what I did basically was went to a client of hers, right? Basically a referral, right? She's working on her license right now, and she basically told me that she's paying like $1,200 a month, and out of 6 policies. So she said, can you go to, because they prefer in person. So I went to her house last Saturday, and I went through every single policy until she got sick to her stomach. Okay. And she never looked at any of her, statements. Matter of fact, the 3 were from WFG, 3 from National Group, which was 3 for Transamerica. The Transamerica, she really couldn't log in. But when I went through everything, she would not have any cash value. She's only been here for 3 years in the States. So out of all the 1,200 premiums she had paid, and over like 3 years, it's about over 3,500. Now there was one that was only 2 years, but still, when I calculated everything, she had put in $35,000, not $3,500, $35,000 just to have $482 to show for it. And I was heartbroken. I was like, people that come here to this country that are new, that know nothing, you will automatically trust, a person from your country, right? And they took advantage of that. And apparently it's been going on, right? So that was, for me, that was inspiring. And I closed that, I closed the husband and wife. They were only covered for $500,000 each. And their child, who was an adult child, was covered for $200,000, but she was already paying for $100 for that. Okay, and she's 20 years old. All right. So, anyways, I was able to close that for $283,000 for the husband, for $1 million, because they're just buying a $600,000 home. For the wife, I got a $208,000, and then the kid was like $26. Okay. Now I went with Glenn on Zoom, and he had been trying to get over, and he's actually on Zoom right now, but he has been trying to really reach out to the community just because he's also a victim himself of trash value. Okay. So there was this guy in particular that I think he's been trying to call, and finally gave the chance to meet with me by Zoom. And he was paying $320. He's 34 years old. Okay. $320 for a $500,000 death benefit. And all I really did was I had him send the policy to me so that I can go over it with him. And I basically went over all the bullet points, right? This is how much you're paying on fees. This is how much your surrender charges are. And I think initially Glenn told me that he paid 11,000, but it seemed like there was only 7,000 cash value. Well, when I told him to log in again, I said, just check again. I said, the surrender value is what matters. It was 0. Okay, so not only that, he had an option A. So for those that don't know what option A means, is if it's an IUL, if they have option A, if they have any cash value in there, if they die, the cash value stays with the company. And the death benefit is what gets paid out to the beneficiaries, okay? So we closed that for, instead of paying $320, he's now paying $127 for $650 and also $750 and putting a child rider on top of that. 35 years. The policy would have lapsed anyways in 35 years. So I gave him the same thing, but I said, save that. Now he's gonna start a college plan and all that, and an investment account, okay? Then John, who just got his license, of course, his appointment was with his parents, and we found out that they only have group insurance, and they really need it because they're buying a house, right? And we were able to close that just this week for 200 something, I think 240 something. So we closed that one. And then this one here, I gotta give credit to this lady, because 2 years, 2020, we applied. And unfortunately, when we applied at that time, she was just diagnosed. It was a non-life threatening, but it was an uninsurable at that time, because it was one of those things that it was diagnosed, it could go bad, it could be okay. And so we applied, and she really wants insurance, and she doesn't even have a job, but because she has a young kid, I give her a lot of credit because she's thinking about her kid, right? Unfortunately, back then, she was not approved, she was declined. So I just went back to my contacts, because I don't work anymore. And I said, look, how are you doing now? And I was really following up more on her health, and I do that every now and then with people that I care about. And she said, you know what? I think, my numbers are stable, blah, blah, blah. I said, she said, do you think I can apply again? So we applied, and guess what? She actually got approved. She got a table rating. And, it's $240, guys. She just found a job like a couple of months ago, and she didn't think twice, because you know what? She has a child, okay? And the reason I give her credit is because she's barely making it, but you know what she told me? I have to. And everybody else is trying to give you an excuse, but then they got a Louis Vuitton bag, like, come on, shut the hell up. So this person here, like I said, I gotta give her credit, because she really puts her family first. I feel like I don't have to force you to cover and protect your family. That should be inherent. That should be something you want to do, okay? So kudos to that one. Now, because of number one, I actually joined a group like Shaq said, but I'll go into that more later. And when I joined, it was 135,000 members. And the reason I joined was because my cousin from Georgia, who's only been here for 3 years, they're lucky because they had the guidance of myself, my sister, we had family that actually were doing things right. So now 3 years later, they have a house. So they are a member of this, right? So this is social media group is basically either nurses that are new here or they're wanting to come here. Okay, so it's like a wealth of nurses. But basically they told me to join that, and because people are just getting screwed left and right on there. But anyways, I'll talk about that later. So that's my win.
Great job.